Your girl Mariah Sincere, and I'm back with another video. But before I get started, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Yes, I still have my Christmas decorations up. I keep my Christmas decorations up all the way through February, and then I put my Valentine's decorations up. So y'all just gonna have to deal with it. I know I haven't been posting a lot of videos, but honestly and truly, guys, it just comes a time in your life sometimes where you have to have some separation for that preparation, okay? And I haven't really been on social media like that at all. I just feel better and get more done, or just can focus inward when I'm not even dealing with all that. But nevertheless, I got on YouTube today, and y'all, these passport bros, it's getting real embarrassing real quick. Okay, and we're gonna talk about it. First of all, thank God for the internet. Thank God for the internet. Okay, as a woman, thank God for the internet, because honestly and truly, women would not be aware of half of the games that a lot of these males play, or just their mindset. You know, a lot of the times we got advice from our mama and our grandmama, and it was not good advice. But like, we're hearing this stuff from the mouth of a lot of these men. And once they give it to you straight like that, like, you can no longer move the way that you used to move. Okay, you just can't. And I'll be completely honest, like, it's getting real hard for me to be neutral in a lot of situations, right? Because I'm seeing where, like, this has been my experience. Like, I feel like most women are genuinely looking for somebody to settle down and be with. And I just have a hard time. I have a hard time really just seeing men that like, that's their genuine focus. It seems to be about that one thing and that one thing only. But I don't really meet any men who are, I'm not saying I don't meet any. That's a lie. I'm gonna say about 99% of the men that I'm meeting are not disciplined, and they don't have a real grasp on manhood. And y'all are just, a lot of them are just hyper focused on that one thing, to the point where, like, they're not even developing other skill sets, like social skills, just taking care of yourself as a person. It's like y'all be focused on that one thing before getting a job, or getting out of your mama house, or y'all, like, if y'all not focused on that one thing, you focus on video games. It's just like delayed, it's like arrested development. Like, some of y'all stayed in that stage, that puberty stage, where you were perpetual children and you just never grew up. Like, you're still, you shouldn't, I'm sorry, it gets to a point where that one thing just shouldn't excite you so much. But I guess some of y'all just, I don't know if you had a hard time getting it. Like, I don't know, but it's weird. And it's getting harder and harder for me day by day, for me to just kind of play the fence, or just pretend like majority of these issues ain't coming from one side. Now, I'm not saying us women don't play certain parts, but I feel like we adapt. Like, it's more of an adaptive behavior. Like, we're moving certain ways because y'all are moving that way. And it's like, if y'all were to move differently, we would move differently. Okay, I'm gonna say that. And again, if you are a genuinely good, disciplined man who has your mind on the right things, I'm not talking about you. Please don't come in my comments with all that. But if you come in my comments with all that, you probably, this message, who I'm talking about right now, is probably finna be about you, okay? These passport bros. Now, it was this guy, his name is Austin. I'm not sure his YouTube name, but some of y'all probably know him if y'all follow this guy. Them Brazilian women are blasting that man right now. blasting that man, okay? Like, one girl, she's a part of a Brazilian news outlet, and blasting this man because he's been making these videos basically insinuating that, you know, men should get their passports and go over to Brazil because the women over there are easier, which is insulting. It's a stereotype and it's insulting. And he'll do these videos with these women and ask them explicit questions. And, you know, like one woman was like, she would do that one thing that same day right away if she really liked the man. Like, and he'll just, you know, keep on asking these women. And see, what a lot of men that watch that content don't understand is when you're making videos and editing videos, you can cherry pick. Okay, so you can cut out the women who cussed you out for asking them that kind of stuff, or who just simply didn't respond to you. Or a lot of the times, people know just by the behavior that you're displaying in public, people know the type of people who was just gonna give some off the wall answer, or an answer that, like, why would you get on camera and say that? Why would you get on camera? Like, sis, even if it were true, why would you get on camera and say that? But people know how to tell just based on how somebody carries themselves. A lot of the time, you can tell who is going to give a throwed off response. So a lot of these men will go over there and do that, and you're watching from over here, and you're just assuming that all of these women behave like that, when newsflash, it's women in every race or culture that carry themselves differently. Period. You gonna find women that are, you know, it don't take much, or you'll find women who you got to work a little more in every single culture. You'll find women who at least have enough respect for themselves not to get on camera and say that in every single culture. So rightfully so, the women over there who are watching his videos and viewing this are pissed off, because it's like, you're telling these men to come over here because we're easy as compared to America. That's your reasoning for packing up your life and coming over here, which, mind you, is your life, do what you do. I'm all for. Here's the thing. I'm not saying don't get your passport and move to another country and find you a woman if that's what you want to do. Okay? More power to you. Because I'm going to keep it 1,000 with y'all. If you got to go all the way to another country as a man to find a woman, you probably weren't, like, you probably had no benefits to the women that's over here. I'm just keeping it real. Like, I'm pretty sure we don't feel like we taking a loss. So go do that. Okay, because I'm gonna tell y'all what's happened. Y'all got on this internet and did too much talking, okay? Talking down on the sisters, okay? And then y'all started promoting. At one time, it was like y'all are promoting, you know, I try not to like say particular race, but I'll say y'all were promoting Caucasian women as the easier option. Okay, and shout out to Yanni for pointing this out. Yanni on Real Talk with Yanni, she was saying how, like, okay, they figured it out. Okay, y'all got on the internet saying that after a while, that group of women is not going to put up with you anymore either. And that's something that I've also been witnessing as well. Or they'll get on TikTok and bash y'all and say, I won't even say bashing. Say the same type of things that we've been saying over here in our community. It's like those women are seeing the same things. Okay. So now it's to the point where y'all got to go to a whole nother country. And like, when you don't work on yourselves, you're going to take the same type of behavior with you every single place that you go. Okay. And I'm just going to keep it real. I don't understand why there's this stereotype that women from other cultures are easier, because honestly and truly, when I've worked around women, I'll say mostly the Hispanic community. I've worked around mostly the Hispanic community, have been heavily involved in that community, have worked with women from that community. And honestly and truly, being around that group of women really had me, first of all, feeling ashamed of my standards, okay, and what I thought was acceptable. and forced me to kind of raise my standards, because I was able to see that, like, for example, if you go into a lot of these communities, 50-50 is not even a conversation. Like, that's not a talking point. That's not something. It's like what's understood don't have to be said. It's like that's not a thing. That's not a thing. And if you're just over here in this community, you're thinking that all Americans or everybody in America is having this conversation, or that this is some talking point that all men have. But that couldn't be further from the truth. That's not a normal thing. Okay? So those women won't even entertain that kind of conversation. It's like, what? And once I realized that, it was like, I'm not entertaining that. I'm not even like, I'm not at all, at all, at all. Okay? You go around the men in certain cultures and they feel offended that you even brought that up. And that's not to say there's not issues and problems in other culture, but it seems like kind of like the basic stuff, the basics. It's like we still arguing about the basics, and you're taking this mentality about arguing about the basics to a whole nother community, okay? Or a lot of y'all, this is what y'all do because y'all run the same type of game over here, but the women over there know. That's the crazy thing. Like, again, that's why I highly recommend that if you're very sheltered, or that you're not used to dealing with people in other cultures outside of your own because of how you grew up, you need to go get around people of other cultures from all different type of economic classes. Like, that's what you need to do. I suggest you learn another language so that you can communicate, like, so that you can better understand a culture, because like they're not gonna put up with that. I don't know how. It's like when we say provider, like I noticed that like a lot of the men over here, and when I say men, y'all know who I'm talking about, that consider themselves to be high value. And let's be clear, any man worth dating doesn't even use that terminology. Let's be clear. When you consider yourself to be like high value, to y'all over here, high value is a man that just have a job. A lot of you men feel like, if I have a job, okay, these women should be grateful. That is your idea of being a provider. Okay, and then when you go around, oh, it's like a ladybug flying around, y'all. But when you go around other cultures, that's like the standard, the bar is way higher. Like, a lot of these men work long hour days, and they work and they make a lot of money. So your idea of what a provider is when you go to these other countries versus what that culture's idea of what a provider is totally different. And a lot of the times y'all will come up on a tax refund or some type of loan and a PPP, whatever, and go over there and try to trick those women into thinking that you got bread. But what y'all don't understand is they're up on game over there. They're up on game, especially the women who are looking for somebody with some funds. They're already talking about you with each other. I promise you. I promise y'all this is how it goes. They see you when they see a lot of them, and I'm not saying all of them, okay? I'm not even saying the majority. I'm just saying the women who are up on game, like a lot of them will look at you, they see, okay, this is just a lick. They're in their mind, they don't have this fantasy that you're going to marry them and provide for them. They know what that looks like, and you're not it, and you don't even have the conversation to even fool a woman to believe that you're it. They know. Okay? And don't get me wrong, other groups of men have been doing this for a long time. But it's like y'all the first ones to get on the internet just blasting it. Blasting it. Okay, blasting it, and don't even really have the funds like that to be doing all that talking, versus the men who were previously going to these countries and finding them a wife. They actually had the money. Okay, they was marrying a wife, going over there to genuinely find a wife. A lot of them weren't even going over there to find a wife. It's just I have a great job that took me halfway around the country. I got immersed in this culture and found a wife, brought her back over here, and I understand what this is. I understand that I am the provider, okay? And they can do it for a long period of time. Okay, but y'all going over there trying to run the same tired game, and now these women in Brazil is not having it. They are not having it. Them women was talking about how they was gonna call the police on this man. Like, and trust and believe, if the men over there see that, they don't like that. They don't like that. When you over there talking about that, talking down on they women, and that is talking down, because he kept on trying to say, I didn't see nothing was wrong. I love Brazilian women. No, that's talking down. When you keep trying to make these videos, trying to make it a point that these women are easy, you know, that's universally not a good thing. Like, men don't think that. And that's the thing. It's a lack of social skills. People don't think, they might like easy women. They don't think highly of easy women. So it's like, do you think you can sit up on the internet and make that type of content and type of videos and ain't nobody gonna handle you eventually? Okay? And again, that's your problem. Not moving in silence. Okay? You done talked yourself out of being able to get women over here, running your mouth. And it's not just these passport bros. It's like regular everyday dudes. Okay? Because women, we understand. Y'all have made it very clear that y'all only want us to the point where you can use us to do things to where it's beneficial. You're not interested in real love. Okay? And and you only want that one thing. That's all we're good for. So what reason do women have to deal with you? Okay, and y'all get upset and talk about feminism. No, it's about being a smart human being. Like, why would we subject ourselves to that? So you're going to these other countries and you're doing the same thing, running your mouth, playing yourself. But over there, guess what you're going to have to deal with not only them women, their men don't like that. They don't play like that. They don't play like that. Okay, they do. The men over here, when y'all start talking about other communities, the men over here check y'all for that when y'all doing too much of that. Okay, I done seen it plenty of times. What you think when you on their turf, you think you finna act any kind of way you want to and that's not gonna get checked? That's crazy. So what I would advise, which you probably not gonna do, this dang, I don't want to kill the ladybug because it's so cute. I feel like that's gonna be bad luck. But and it's on my light too. What I would advise you to do, which you probably not gonna do because it requires too much work, go heal. Okay, or go better yourselves. It's like we're getting to the point where the only way out of this is you can't sit up and make excuses for yourself. You can't talk about male nature. You can't compare yourself to animals. You can't justify the fact that you just want one thing anymore. Okay, because I've seen men who have risen above that. Okay, I've seen men who have gone beyond that. Majority of y'all are in what Iyanla Vanzant calls the spiritual basement. Okay, you live in the spiritual basement. You have no connect. You can't even connect to God. And I hate to go there. You know, whatever religion you are, you can't connect to God and truth to be able to even see that in a woman because you are so focused on selfish wants and what you see as needs that you can't even move beyond that. It's like you don't understand that there's more to life than that. Like there's better things in life than that. Okay? And you could completely experience those things with yourself. You know, but it's like a lot of y'all can't even be happy alone. But then when you're with women, you don't know how to be a decent person to where those women even want to be around you. It's just like a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. But if you can't confront yourself, then you won't forever be going from place to place, creating a bad reputation for not only yourself, but other people who look like you. Because you don't want to heal and you want to bring all that trauma and baggage into other communities who are not used to that type of stuff. And I think that's another problem. And here's where we have to kind of take responsibility, women. And again, not too much on us, because when you know better, you do better. And so, a lot of the times when that's all you know, that's how you behave. But we accepted that type of behavior for so long and was genuinely desensitized to it, that these men don't understand that those type of behaviors that they go into other communities and do is appalling. It's appalling. Like, you know, when we become baby mothers and when we have boyfriends who are in and out of jail, and again, I'm not saying that's all of us, I'm just talking about the ones of us who do. When we deal with men who want to do 50-50 and live on our couch, okay, the community doesn't exile us for that. As a matter of fact, a lot of times you will find people who are more than willing to excuse that behavior and excuse you for being a participant in that. But a lot of times in these other communities, if you impregnate a woman and you leave her with the child, or you can't pay the bills, or like you mistreat her like that, a lot of times either A, she can't go back to her family, she's gonna be shamed, or B, because you have shamed her and dishonored her, you're gonna have to deal with the men in that community. Like, there are consequences, real consequences. And because you don't necessarily feel those consequences over here, you believe that you can go into other communities and behave like that. But it's a completely different story. So if nothing else, for your own safety, I advise that y'all cut that out. But again, you wrong. Do what you want to do. It's no loss to me. I'm going to keep it real, because I already peep what dudes like that are about. Whether, I don't care where I'm at, I'm going to peep what a guy like that is about. I'm going to peep it off top. So it was never a loss for me for a lot of you men to go over there and do that. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, fix yourself, because really it is starting to be embarrassing. Like, just on the community, it looks bad. Even like, I feel like people look at, you know, the women over here and be like, ugh, this is what y'all accept? This is what y'all put up with? Ugh. You know, so I don't know. Get it together. That's all I got to say. Y'all have a good night.